Shalom.
Shalom.
I'm going to start by saying, call Halayim La
Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushai Ba'Hashem, Akakadash.
I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of the Great Millstone. Peace and citations over electing the Ark and spreading His truth throughout the four corners of the earth. And we'll couple brothers coming up on the Great Millstone, Des Moines. And today we're just going to talk about prophecy. Ezekiel 37. If your brother wanna grab it and read from verse 1.
This is Ezekiel chapter 37, and starting at the top. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
Right, and that valley full of bones is what? That represents America, and we can grab that and we can grab that in Psalms 23.
Psalms 23 and 4. This is the book of Psalms chapter 23 and verse 4. It says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me."
Right, that valley symbolizes America, man. This is the valley of the shadow of death, man. Why? Because death is lurking on every side, And why is death lurking on every side? Because of the curses that are upon us. Someone can grab that in Deuteronomy 28.
I got it.
And 66.
Yep. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 66. Can I start verse 65?
Yeah.
It says, "And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing eyes, and sorrow of mind." Verse 66, "And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have none assurance of thy life."
So yeah, us fearing day and night, not having assurance of our life, being in fear that we might leave the house and not make it back. Why? Because death is lurking everywhere we go. You want to read verse 67?
Verse 67, "In the morning thou shalt say, would the Most High it were even, and at even thou shalt say, would the Most High it were morning, for the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see."
Right, that's why we say Lord's will. Lord's will, we make it to the morning, and at the morning, Lord's will, we make it to the evening. And so going back to that Ezekiel 37 and 1, them bones represent Israel. Go ahead.
Just jumping down to verse 11 to show what the brother just said. It says, Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts.
Right, showing that them bones represent the house of Israel, man. If keep going to verse 2, Ezekiel 37 and 2.
This is verse 2. "And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry."
Can you read that again? Sluggy.
Yeah. "And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry."
Right. And what made us very dry? What made us in a dead estate? If a brother can grab Psalms 106 verse 43. And if another brother can hold Proverbs 21 and 6.
Psalms 106.
Hold that Jeremiah 2, 13. Psalms 106 and 43.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 106 and verse 43. "Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity."
Right, so our iniquity, which is sin upon sin, brought us very low. Brought us to the point to where we would forget our heritage, according to Jeremiah 17 and 4.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies, in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Right, you know, so eventually we fell off from our heritage, man. You know, we went a horn, you know, wanted to be like the other nations, you know, serving other idols, you know, and so that iniquity, that sin upon sin, led us to fall away from our heritage. If brother can grab that, that Proverbs 21:16.
Yeah, this is Proverbs 21, verse 16. It says, the man that wandered out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Right, you know, so with us, with them bones being very dry, it was in a dead, they were in a dead estate, man, you know. So we wandered out of the way of, as the scripture says, you know, he that wandered out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. You know,
scripture real quick to back you up to show what that understanding is. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4 in verse 5. Behold, I taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Right? So, hey, like the brother was saying, okay, we discontinue from our heritage, all right, from our, like that Jeremiah 17 and 4 said. What did he say again? We discontinue from our heritage. What is our heritage, man? And what is our heritage? Okay, the scriptures say in the book of Sirach, the Lord gave us the law of life for an heritage, man. And also the scriptures say, all right, the land he gave us for an heritage. And we were exiled from our land, all right? And we stopped following after the laws and statutes and commandments, all right? The wisdom and understanding the Lord gave us, okay? Because we disobeyed the Lord, all right? Because we went a whoring after these false gods, man, and learned the ways of the heathen.
You want to grab that Jeremiah 2?
Yeah. It's Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water.
Right. You know, we have forsaken the Lord, you know, and we hewed out cisterns that can hold no water, man. You know, other vain philosophies and doctrines, man. You know, I got this Isaiah 44:3. Isaiah 44:3, and it says, for I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit unto thy seed, and my blessing upon thy offspring. You know, showing that, you know, it's the Lord that that found the living water. You know, is the spirit of the Lord, man. You know,
right? And also, it's the prophets that our people rejected, right? That those fountains of living water coming through the mouths of the servants of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. It says in the book of John, those that believe on me, as the scripture has said, out of their belly shall flow rivers of living water, right? And that's what our people were lacking in the valley of dry bones. We were lacking the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So we were in the congregation of the dead.
But we're going to go back to Ezekiel 37 verse 3.
So Ezekiel 37 and verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord, power, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, power unto these bones. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
Right. So what is that breath? My brother can grab that in Wisdom of Solomon.
You want verse 24?
Just straight to the point.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and verse 25. I'll start at 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passes and goes through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty.
Right, saying that she is the breath of the power of the Most High, man. You know, and in verse 4 it said, hear the word of the Lord. You know, so this wisdom is the word of the Lord. You know, and he prophesied onto these dry bones, man. You know, and what happened? The brother want to continue in verse 6.
Verse 6, Salakia, and quick point to add on to, the brother just read a precept earlier that showed what that wisdom was. You know, it was these laws, statutes, and commandments, which ultimately is the word of the Lord. You know, but verse 6, and I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
You know, and so them sinews and that covering coming back, you know, is us knowing who we are, man. You know, and that breath being that wisdom, you know, is basically the totality of it is the whole package, you know, the whole package, you know, of knowing who you are and knowing and knowing the wisdom, you know, knowing the understanding of the Lord.
Verse 7. Verse 7, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to its bone.
Right, you know, so when the prophet Ezekiel was prophesying, you know, you got a picture. You know, when the prophet Ezekiel was prophesying the words of the Lord, you know, the bones started to come together. You know, yeah.
I'll keep it. Isaiah 58. Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins.
That's what the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushua are doing to these dry bones out here, and to these bones that are in America, speaking about our people in their dead estate, not having this understanding, are prophesying unto them, showing them the way to receive life, showing them how to live and move well in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, so that they can live and be allied with immortality.
You know, and that's the bones. That's the bones coming together, man. Bone to his bone. You know, because some were here, you know, some were here, and the bones will come together, you know, and some will forbear, you know, forsake it and remain in that dead estate.
Verse 8, and when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them.
Right, you know, and what that's going into these so-called other camps, man. You know, they got the sinews, you know, they got the skin upon them. They know that they're Israelites, you know, but they're not following the true doctrine. You know, they're not pushing the right doctrine. They're still calling on JC, you know, Jesus Christ, you know, or they're still in their wicked ways, you know, saying that you can pop your woman on the Sabbath, you know, you can pop your woman in a rectum. You know, they're still, they're not preaching the 100% doctrine, man.
Right. Some of them you can teach that you don't even have to worship Yahushua. You know, that's they know that they're Israelites, but what? That wisdom is not within them, right? They don't truly have the spirit of the Lord within them, man. You
right. Know? You know, so and that's showing that they got the skin, you know, but they don't got the breath, man. They don't got the understanding, man. They don't got the 100% doctrine, man. You want to keep going, verse 9?
Verse 9, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say unto the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon the slain, that they may live.
Right, he said prophesy unto the wind. You know, this word has went out to the four corners of the earth. You know, you have that?
It said Romans 10 and 17. It says, Romans chapter 10 and verse 17, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
Right, you know, and how did the words go out to the four corners of the earth, man? It's through the internet. You know, starting with the apostles on down, starting with the apostles and the elders on down, you know, when the word got onto the internet, then it spread like wildfire, man. You see people waking up in different countries. You see people waking up in different states, you know, coming to the coming into the truth, knowing who they are, man. My brother got anything?
Can you forgive me some? Matthew 24.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached to all. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. All right, so that's one of the prophecies Yahweh Bashar said before he left. And that's exactly what we're experiencing right now. All right. After the Comforter being sent back onto us, being this this wisdom, this truth, all right, you know, and we see this word is all throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, you got brothers in Asia. Okay, you got camps in Africa,
The Philippines.
yeah, the Philippines. You got brothers in Europe. You know, so that's
America, South America.
so that's this prophecy being fulfilled.
You know, and yeah, you can keep going, verse 10.
Verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
Right, you know, that breath entered into them, man. You know, and that's ultimately, man. That's the men starting up with the elders and apostles on down, man, standing up upon their feet, exceeding great army. You know, we're preaching 100% doctrine. You know, calling on the true names Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, man.
Then said he unto me, verse 11, then said he unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts.
Right, you know, our bones were dry. We were in that dead estate. You know, according to that Proverbs 21 and 16, you know, we was in the congregation of the dead.
Verse 12, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel.
Right, you know, and like I said, that's going into you know, us waking up out of that dead estate, man. Us waking up out of our graves, man. You know, the bones, the sinews, the skin, you know, and the breath coming upon us, man.
Verse 13, and ye shall know that I am the Lord when I have opened your graves, and O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I, the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord.
Had a precept. If brothers can grab Romans 4 and 17, and brothers can grab Ephesians 2 and 1.
This is the book of Romans chapter 4 and verse 17. It says, as it is written, I have made thee a father of many nations before him whom he believed, even the Most High, who quickened the dead and called those things which be not as though they were.
Right, you know, so this is talking about Abraham. The first part is talking about Abraham. Can you read it again?
What verse?
Yeah.
It says, as it is written, I have made thee a father of many nations.
Right, so talking about Abraham. You know, can you keep going?
Before him whom he believed, even the Most High, who quickened the dead and calleth those things which be not as though they were.
Right, showing the omnipotency of the Lord. You know, the Lord is able to quicken. You know, what does quicken mean? To make alive again. You know, and how are you quickened? Brother, can grab that.
This is John 6 and 63. It says, it is a spirit that quickeneth, Right, and the brother just went into that word meaning to make alive again. Right, we getting that understanding again, taking us out of that dead estate. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Right, you know, showing that it's the word. This what the word is what gives us life, man. You know, it's what brings us out of that dead estate. It's what brings us out of them graves, man. And here's another precept.
Yeah, it should be Psalms 119 and like 50. This is Psalms chapter 119 and verse Salakia, bear with me. In verse 93, it says, I will never verse 92. It says, I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me.
I mean, it wasn't that's also a good one, man. You know, these precepts, you know, when you go into the word precept, it's a commandment, man. You know, so these precepts is what, these words is what makes us alive again, man.
Ephesians chapter 2, verse 1, it says, and you hath he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins.
So how was we dead? We was dead through our trespasses and our sins, you know? Through our iniquity, we was brought low into that dead estate. But it says what? Now we are quickened. We just brought out that we are quickened, and it's the word that quickeneth, man. John 6:63. Yeah, you can go ahead and hit that real quick.
Psalms 119 and verse 50, it says, this is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word hath quickened me.
Right, you know, it's the word, like we've been saying, it's the word that makes us alive again. Go ahead.
This is Ephesians 2, verse 2.
Can you read from verse 1?
This is Ephesians 2, verse 1. It says, and you hath he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, among also we all had our conversation in times past.
Is that it, verse 2?
Yeah,
Like, is that the end of it?
I was going to finish the sentence in verse 3.
No, go ahead. Slack it.
It says, verse 3, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past, in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. Right, so we were walking in a way that wasn't according to the understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right, it's the scriptures speak about the way that we should walk in, being through our Lord Yahushua. It says Yahushua is the way and the truth and the life. No man coming to the Father but by Him. Through Yahushua is how we receive this understanding in the first place. Receive the ability to become alive again.
Right,
It speaks about that.
Go ahead, no, slack.
It speaks about that in John 14, right? That comforter that was sent unto us, so that we could have the Spirit of the Lord rest upon us, right? And remember all the words that He said unto us. I'll just grab it. This is John 14 and verse 16. It says, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that He may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth. Right, going into these words. Right, it says in John 17, sanctify them through thy truth, thy word is truth. Right, so this truth is how this truth is what we received from Yahushua when He went up to the right hand of the Heavenly Father. But it says, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth Him not, neither knoweth Him, but ye know Him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. Right, so that's this Spirit that's quickening us as a people, taking us out of that dead estate. Right, starting with the apostles and elders on down. We're standing upon our feet again, like it speaks about Revelations 11. Through this word.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Right, so like we've been going into, all right, this word, okay, this wasn't meant to knowledge the words of Yahweh by Shah Shai. This is what has quickened us. This is what has made us alive. Because like we were reading in that Ephesians 2, we were spiritually dead in the world, man, in sins. All right, following after our lust, okay, following after the ways of the heathen, okay, being carnal. The scriptures say to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded, okay, having this word is life and peace. All right, so we were spiritually dead in the world, and had not Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai breathed this breath of life into us, which is his truth, it would have manifested itself physically, man. All right.
Back in verse 14, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord. Keep on. Verse 15, the word of the Lord came unto me again, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah, and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions.
Right, you know, so we take one stick, write upon it for Judah, his companions, you know, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, you know, because the kingdom split, man. You know, 1 Kings 11 and chapter 1 Kings 11 and chapter 12 goes into how the kingdom split, you know, but the kingdom was divided, man. You know, northern kingdom and southern kingdom, man. But what it say, take for thee a stick for Judah and his companions, which is Benjamin and Levi, you know, and it said take the other stick.
Levi too?
Huh?
Levi too?
Huh? Yeah, I said Levi.
Okay.
And it said, and for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, showing you that Joseph is interchangeable with Ephraim. You know, because Ephraim became the head tribe of the northern kingdom. You know?
Yeah, when you go into the history, you had Jeroboam. They called him the Ephratite, so that's where you get that from, because he was from the tribe of Ephraim. But
you know, and it said, take for thee the stick of Ephraim for all his companions, man, being the northern kingdom tribes, man. You know, and it said, you wanna keep going?
Yeah. Verse 16. So like in verse 17, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Right. You know, and this is why we got the plank, man, because it's the two coming together. You know, the stick becoming the two sticks becoming one, man. You know, if a brother want to grab that in Amos 9 and verse 11.
Amos chapter 9 and verse 11, it says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Right, you know, and this is the tabernacle of David being risen up, man. You know, keep going in verse 18.
Verse 18, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?
Right, showing, it's another indicator showing how we're supposed to be on the highways and byways, man. Because people will come by and inquire, you know, inquire about the stick, you know, about the plank, you know.
Quick point. Usually that's the first thing people look at. That's the first thing people catch usually, and they'll look at the board and they'll come up and ask, okay, what's this and what are you guys doing? You know, so just to add on.
You know, they'll see their so-called name and then see their biblical lineage tied next to it, man. You know, and ask questions. Ask, what does thou meanest by these? You know.
Verse 18, 19. So like in verse 19, say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand.
Right, you know, going into this plank, man. You know, the tabernacle of David is being rebuilt. You know, we're being gathered together. You know. Verse 20.
Verse 20. And the sticks whereon thou ridest shall be in thine hand before their eyes, and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land.
Right, and how are we being gathered today? You know, if a brother want to hit Baruch 4, like the end of Baruch 4 or the beginning of Baruch 5.
I got it. This is Baruch 4, verse 36. It says, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High.
Right, so it's this word. This word is what's gathering us from among the heathen, man. You know, also showing that those people in our land now, you know, are not the people. You know, it says that we'll still be amongst the heathen, and the word will be gathering us. You know.
I got a precept for you. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30. It says, For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. Right, so it said in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. All right, and the scriptures say we are yet this day in our captivity. All right, and the elect, the remnant, okay, of the nation of Israel, Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We're remembering ourselves, man. We're being gathered together once again by the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, like the brother was saying, showing another reason why those phonies over there in our land are not the true children of the nation of Israel, man. Because according to them, they never forgot who they were. All right, and they're not in captivity, you know. So they're not fitting the prophecy, man. All right, but I had another one for you real quick. Go ahead. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. And who's the nation not desired? That's the Israelites, man. That's us, all right? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right? And once again, it says, gather yourselves together. We're being gathered, all right? The elect, the remnant is being gathered by this word, man. Okay, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is putting the spirit on his chosen to repent. All right, it says, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord Yahweh come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgments. Once again, who wrought the Lord's judgments? The nation of Israel, man. All right, it says, seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye, it may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. And that's only the elect, all right, that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is gonna put the spirit on, all right, to seek righteousness. Okay? Being gathered by this word, man.
You wanna read the next
Verse
call it out.
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 21.
22.
So like in 22. And I will make them one. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
Right, you know, and that one king, that one king being over us is going to be King David, man. If you can grab that.
This is Jeremiah 30, verse 9. It says, verse 9, but they shall serve the Lord Yahweh their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them.
Right, you know, so the rank and order would be a heavenly Father Yahweh, his only begotten Son Yahweh Shai, and then King David, man, ruling over the house of Israel, man. You want to keep going, verse 23?
God, Ezekiel 37 and 23. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power.
Keep going.
Right? Just to make a quick point, we had brought out earlier that John 17:17 says, sanctify them through thy truth, thy word is truth. Right? Could you read that again, brother?
Yeah. Verse 23, neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and I will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power.
It's all going back. It's all going back to us staying upon the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Us being cleansed by the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The scriptures say, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way by taking heed thereto according to the word. It says, I think it's Ephesians 2. What's it say? Washed by the water of the word.
Ephesians 5:26. You have been cleansed by the washing of the water of the word. Roughly paraphrase.
I'll just grab it.
You want me to grab it for you? This is Ephesians 5 and verse 26 says that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
That word sanctify and going into being made holy. Right? This all comes through this word, the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. These words that are able to make us wise into salvation. It all starts this word that we remember in the land of our captivity.
I got a quick precept to add on to what you mentioned. John chapter 15 and verse 3. Now are you clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. All right, so that's Yahweh Shai speaking himself. He said, you're clean through the word that I'm speaking unto you. All right. So this is what cleanses our mind and transforms our mind from the wicked and polluted ways we've been living in. You know.
This is what separates us from the nations, like we spoke about in Deuteronomy.
That one.
This is the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech ye therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. All right, and that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushai is doing for his elect. All right, the Lord is putting the Spirit on his elect to no longer be conformed to the ways of this world, to no longer follow after the ways of the heathen, to no longer follow after their lust. All right, in carnality. Okay, and think according to the ways of this world, but what? Being transformed by the renewing of our mind. Once again, our minds being cleansed by the washing of this word, man. That's why the scriptures say in the book of Micah chapter 2 and verse 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Okay, before Yahweh Shai physically delivers his elect and they physically depart from this place, he's going to put the Spirit on them to depart from their minds. All right, spiritually, mentally, morally. Okay, by giving them this word, man, by cleansing them through this word. All right.
Do I have anything else?
No, you can hit verse 24.
Come. Ezekiel 37 and 24. And David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Verse 25. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever.
Keep going, next verse. Someone grab Jeremiah 30 and 30, where it talks about the new covenant.
Ezekiel 37 and 26. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and I will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forever.
Right, you know, and that's going into the new covenant, man. You know, that's going to be written in our hearts, man. You know, if you want to grab that.
This is Jeremiah 31:31. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord Yahweh. For they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, saith the Lord Yahweh. For I will forgive them their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
Right, us dwelling in perfect harmony, man. Why? Because the laws is going to be in us. We're not gonna be able to sin again, man. It's gonna be perfect peace on the planet Earth, man. Starting with the house of Israel, man.
Because the scriptures say, because what is sin? The scriptures say, whoever sinned transgresseth the law, for sin is a transgression of the law. All right, and the Lord said that new covenant that He's going to make with us, He's going to put these laws, these statutes, these commandments in our inward parts, man. All right, so we're naturally going to follow after these laws, man. All right, doing right by the Lord is going to be like breathing. We're never going to go off. We're never going to sin. All right, the scriptures say the wages of sin is death. Okay, so if you have these laws within you and you're not sinning, all right, you're never going to perish, man. Okay.
It's Isaiah 55. Oh, this is Isaiah 59 and verse 1. It says, Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither is ear heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid His face from you, that He will not hear. Right, so we just went into the new covenant, and what's going to happen is we're going to, like we've been going into, the laws, statutes, and commandments are going to be put within our inward parts, and we're not going to sin anymore, and we're not even going to have to teach it to our children. We're not going to have to teach it to our brothers,
Fellow Israelites.
right? And it's going to be all in harmony, right? We're not going to be able to sin anymore. We're not going to be separated from the Lord anymore. We're not going to have to go through the curses anymore.
This is another one, going into how the Lord, okay, He said it in the Old Testament and the New Testament. All right, for you Christians, okay. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter Hebrews 8 in verse 7. It says, For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, He said, right, and the fault was in us, man, okay, because the law is perfect, all right? The fault was in us. We're the ones who transgressed. We disobeyed the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man, all right? It says, for finding fault with them, He said, Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, right? Saying it, reiterating like we just read in the book of, it was Isaiah, right?
Yeah,
No,
that was Jeremiah 31.
Jeremiah 31, Salakia, all right? The Lord reiterating it in the New Testament, because these Christians thinking, oh, well, this pertains to us now, or they have a place, all right, in salvation. Okay, no, it only pertains to the Israelites, man, all right? Paul said that. If I can grab that real quick, in the book of Romans, this is Romans chapter 9 and verse 4. For I wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises, right? So, hey, these covenants is only pertaining to the house of Israel, man, all right? Salvation is only for the Lord's people, first and foremost, starting with the elect, okay? And He's going to put His laws, His statutes, and His commandments in our inward parts, man, all right? But, you got something? Kind of finishing up in Hebrews 8, not according, it says, for finding fault with them, He saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least to the greatest. It says, For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. All right, that's what the Lord is going to do for his people, man. All right, not these other nations. Okay,
These other nations are going to be in the kingdom. They're not going to take part in this. They're not going to have that immortal body that the elect are going to receive in the rest of the nation that's going to be born through them. Right? They're going to be building up our walls. They're going to be tending our fields. Right? They're going to be bringing in their resources unto us. Right? It says the scripture in Isaiah 60 speaks about
grab it.
This is Isaiah 60 verse 10. It says, And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Right? So these people, speaking about Israel, has done away with that. It's a downgrade to be called an Israelite. Right. That's all null and void. Right? These other nations are going to be serving Israel in the kingdom. Right? It said that the Lord's going to have mercy upon us. Right? The Lord's never going to cast us away. He said if he does away with, in the back in that Jeremiah 31, it says if the Lord does away with the sun and the moon and the stars and those ordinances, then he's going to do away with the children of Israel. But we have been allotted to receive mercy from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua since the beginning of time. This is verse 11. It says, Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, that they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Right, and this is future prophecy, right, showing you that there's a separation between the separation in Gentiles that it speaks about in the New Testament. Right, who are these Gentiles going to be bringing these things to the Israelites? Right, it says, Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought forth. For the nation and kingdom, speaking about these other nations that are not Israelites, right? It's about the seed of Yahweh, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Speaks about that in Psalms 105 and verse 11, I believe. Right, these covenants are for us, like the brother read in that Romans 9. These covenants, these promises were for us, right? Not for these other nations. But it says, For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. It says, And the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. Right, and that's speaking about these different nations that have been putting hell on us. Right, it said, it said, what nation have not taken part in their spoils? Right, and all these nations have been doing a number on Israel. But they're gonna, in the kingdom, they're gonna be serving us. But it says, the glory of verse 14, the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
I had a quick precept too to back up what you made. Yeah, Khan. I just want to grab a quick precept too to back up both of these brothers. Going into how these nations have no part. This is Isaiah chapter 2, and I'll start at verse 3. Isaiah 2 and 3. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. Okay? So I wanted to focus on that verse right there. Okay? It's going into in the kingdom how Jake is going to be ruling. But it said what? He's going to judge and rebuke many people. So what are we going to judge and rebuke according to? All right? According to our laws. So showing you that they're going to be on the other end. Okay? And they're not a part of that covenant that the brother mentioned in Jeremiah 30. See, we're going to have the law. We're going to have the laws within us to be able to rebuke and judge these other nations when they go off, you know? So,
Right. Like the scripture said, you know, the law shall go forth out of Zion. All right? If the law is going forth out of Zion, and the law, statutes, and commandments are already in our inward parts, who is being governed, all right, by this law? You know, who is being judged, okay, according to it when they disobey it, man? These other nations. If I can grab this real quick. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Right, that's what the Lord's going to do for his elect. That's what he's going to do for his chosen, man. Lord willing, we be a part of that number if we continue to keep the works of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai to the end. All right, to strive for the truth until death. Okay, the Lord is going to give us power over the nations, man. That's what the elect is going to inherit, man. All right, that's not for these other nations. It says that he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. Right. So, hey, we're going to rule over these nations with a rod of iron, man. We're going to have to beat these nations into subjection. All right. Just as they beat us into subjection, man. They beat our heritage out of us, man. You know, they beat us to the point where we forgot who we were as a people. And that's what we're going to do to them, man. In righteousness, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai. All right. We're going to beat them into subjection to where they cast off, where they forget, okay, of their heathen ways. And they're not going to be perfect, you know. They're going to go off, they're going to sin. But once again, if they do, they're going to be judged according to this law, man. All right?
You want to finish the last two verses?
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 27. My tabernacle also shall be with them, yea, I will be their power, and they shall be my people.
Right. Just as that Jeremiah 31 said, man. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to be our power, and we're going to be his people.
Verse 28. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore.
These nations are going to understand that we're that peculiar people. They're going to have that full understanding.
I was going to mention too, they're going to like that Deuteronomy 4. Surely this is a wise and understanding people. That's what they're going to realize and actually say that, you know.
Y'all have anything else? I had this in the book of Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. It says, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Right? So, hey, eventually on this side, okay, only the elect, only the remnant is going to be delivered. They're going to be saved. And 2/3 of our people and the wicked of our nation scattered around the world, they're going to perish. But what? Eventually they'll come back through the loins of one of the elect, and all Israel shall be saved with an everlasting salvation. All right? And it said, we shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. We're never going to be confounded. We're never going to be destroyed. All right? Why? Because we're going to be living according to the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai. Okay?
Anything else? Man, so hopefully that was edifying, you know, in showing the breakdown of Ezekiel 37. And we just want to end it off by saying, Kal Halayim Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all elect in the occupants of the truth of the four corners of the earth. And Shalom.
Shalom.